Time in everybody's life where they like to reflect. I reflect by watching my older videos, mainly the ones before Shovel Knight. Back then, I didn't have a good camera or even a good microphone. Hell, I didn't even write a script. I just saw what was happening in the game and spoke my mind. Today, I have much better equipment. I personally write a script and I make sure it sounds good, and I feel like my videos get better and better every time I release one. During my reflection, though, I stumbled upon something. Something that really caught my attention. At the end of my Sonic Adventure 2 review, I said this line right here. I can recommend Sonic Unleashed. I got to thinking about that. Can I really? It's been over 8 years since I've played this game, and I honestly don't remember that much about it. So tonight, we're going to take a look at a game that was meant to bring Sonic back up from the ashes after the epic fails that was these two games. So without further ado, folks, welcome to my honest opinion of Sonic Unleashed. Unleashed was released in November of 2008. At that time, I had just joined the Navy and finished boot camp. But before all that, I had no clue of this game's existence. Even though I had no prior memories of Sonic 06, the game still left a rather bad taste in my mouth after I beat it. As a result, I had done no research on Sonic Unleashed. Next thing I know, one of my roommates in the barracks handed me the game. Why he bought it for me, I have no clue, but I wasn't complaining either. At the time, the game was $60, so I got a free game for no apparent reason. And when I looked at the cover for the first time, this was my reaction. A f***ing werewolf. This is your idea of the solution, Sega? You know, they say not to judge a book by its cover, but I judged this game hardcore, that much I remember. Someone, somewhere in the creation section of Sonic Team came up with this and thought it was a great idea. And you know what? I think it went something like this.
Gentlemen, I've called you into this meeting because we need to discuss a new idea for Sonic. And due to budget cuts, with, for some reason, Sonic 06 failing, I could have swore that was a great idea. We are going to be having this meeting and any other subsequent meeting here in my apartment. So until we can rise up from the ashes, this is where the meetings will be held. Now, like I said, I want this game to really wow the crowd. I need an idea, and I'm open for suggestions. Does anybody have an idea? Anyone at all? I got an idea. What if we give Sonic a gun? We could rate the game M and he could just drop the F-bomb every 2 minutes. People, especially Americans, would love that. Not a bad idea, kid. But we already tried that with Shadow. It sucks because we invested a lot of time and resources into that game, but it just didn't deliver. You're on the right track, though.
Oh, I have an idea. What if we redesign the characters to more match their personalities? We could bring back the team-based formula from Sonic Heroes, and Sonic himself can have frayed-up hair, wear a scarf, and have athletic tape.
You're on to something. But right now, we just don't have the resources to pull something like that off. Maybe in like 6 years or so, we can let another development team try their hand at it, but you're definitely onto something. I like it. Does anybody else have an idea?
Here's a thought. Why don't we remake Sonic Adventure 2?
What?
Yeah, we could get the game an HD makeover. We could clean up the story so it makes more sense and it's less dark. We could hire better voice actors, and most importantly, we could turn the music down.
That is the stupidest idea I've ever heard. If we were ever to do something with Sonic Adventure 2 again, it would get re-released on the Xbox Live Arcade, and the music will be even more louder and even more annoying.
Oh, come on, boss. It's a good idea, and you know it. You're just mad because you didn't think of it first.
People hate Sonic Adventure 2. Why would I waste my time on a definitive edition?
What the hell are you talking about? People love SA2. Literally, the only person who doesn't like it is Honest Biggums. And who cares what that nobody thinks? Seriously, it's a great idea, and I honestly think that... Hey, what are you doing? Let me go!
Get him out of here.
But boss, come on, I've got 3 kids.
You should have thought about that before you dissed Honest Biggums.
You're a fool! No! It's a great idea! No!
Boss, it's a great idea! Just give it a chance!
Thanks, Jamal.
My name's James.
Yeah, whatever, Jermaine. Does anybody else have an idea?
I have an idea.
All right. I'll bite. What do you got?
How about we make Sonic a werewolf?
I love it! Tyrone, would you like a job?
You know what? If I get a job,
find and rescue him.
After doing so, Pickle informs the gang that the only way to restore the planet is to bring the Chaos Emeralds to the legendary temples to restore their power.
From here, the story kind of pauses, if you will. Anything between now and the 6th temple is just filler.
After Sonic and Chip make it to the 6th temple, Chip has his memory fully restored, and it's in this scene that we learn that he's actually the Light Gaia, and it's his job to subdue Dark Gaia to prevent it from destroying the world. Eggman splitting the world into 7 pieces prematurely woke up Chip and Dark Gaia, which caused Chip's memory loss. Sonic and Chip set off on their final destination to restore the last Chaos Emerald. Eggman, at this point, has finally built Eggman Land, something he's been trying to do since Sonic Adventure 1, and it just so happens that he built it on top of the final temple. After Sonic breaks through the base, he restores the power to the final emerald, but the last piece of the planet isn't moving back into place. Eggman tells Sonic that he's too late and Dark Gaia has reached his full potential. With that, he will harness Dark Gaia's power and rule the world. Sonic quickly subdues Eggman, but shortly after, hopefully. Let's cover the game itself. You control as Sonic from beginning to end, and there are only 3 playstyles here. You have regular Sonic stages where it's nothing but high-speed platforming. You have the Werehog stages where it's slow-paced platforming with some minor puzzle solving and a large focus on beat-em-up action. Lastly, you have the airplane stages where you just press the correct button at the correct time. Sonic stages are without a doubt the best part of the game. It really showcases how fast he can run, and if you have good enough reflexes, you can dodge the many hazards in each stage. Like in true Sonic fashion, there are multiple pathways for you to choose from. How you get to the goal ring is entirely up to you, but there are some paths that you can take where you can find goodies like rings, extra lives, or collectibles. This sort of stuff is great, and it's always something I look forward to when I play any Sonic game. The enemies go down in one hit, and the stages don't take very long to beat.
But they're not perfect and they have flaws. I'll get to those in a minute though.
The Werehog stages leave a lot to be desired. It doesn't help that no one asked for this to begin with, the empty fire. But even if you mess up in these stages, they are very easy to beat and should only take you a few minutes. Each gameplay style in its own respect works well enough, but what makes the game really suffer is the difficulty. Both Sonic and the Werehog stages are hard, more so in Sonic's case.
Until I played this game, I cannot say that I've ever got a game over in a Sonic game.
It is straight ridiculous how many times I saw this screen, and if you happen to get a game over, all you need to do is replay the entire stage over again. That can be okay in Sonic's case, but if you screw up and get a game over as the Werehog and you just happen to be near the end, guess what? You gotta replay all 20 to 60 minutes of that level all over again.
But that doesn't even compare to what I have to talk about next.
I mentioned earlier that there are collectibles in the game. You have these books here and also records. They really don't do much for you, and you only get an achievement for collecting them all. But these aren't the ridiculous part of the game. No. That honor goes to these things right here.
That would be okay if the stages weren't so dull.
Now you can also find medals in the game's multiple hub worlds. Yeah, they're in this game too. Although these are by far the best that the series has ever seen. They're not too expensive, and they're easy to navigate through. Most of the NPCs have nothing interesting to say, but they at least help make this world feel more alive. And one thing I can say about the design that's good is that the people don't look realistic. These people look like cartoons, and you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that. Inside each country are medals that you can collect as Sonic and the Werehog respectively. Each of them contain at least 2 medals depending on which character you're controlling as. Inside the main hub is another hub where you can pick whatever stage you want to play. Plot-specific stages will be signified with a floating key, and there are other stages you can pick that are much shorter, but they're also more challenging. You can never really be lost in this game because the story tells you exactly where to go next, but what the story doesn't tell you their character, but I'll tell you what, it definitely increases the challenge of it if you don't. For Sonic, you only have 2 attributes, speed and ring energy. The Werehog, however, has many more. Combat, strength, life, unleash, and shield. The max level for each ability varies for both characters, and you'll have to play this game a lot to reach it. Personally, I haven't done this because, well, f*** that. While controlling as Sonic, the concept is a little different than what we were treated to in the past. He still has the homing attack at super speed, but this game added something new, a boost ability. While using this, Sonic runs the fastest he's ever ran and plows through all sorts of enemies and obstacles. The more ring energy you have, the longer you can boost. Pretty cool, right? Right?
Only to an extent. the boost oftentimes gets you killed unless you have the stages memorized. All too often, there are times where you'll need to jump to avoid spikes or a pit, but the game doesn't really tell you when you'll need to do that. It tells you when you need to slide or do a mid-air boost, but that's it. Sonic stages are the ones that I got the most game overs in, and it's equally templated in this game. One thing the developers did right with Sonic was the ability to switch grind rails. Back in the day, you had to hold the control stick towards the rail you wanted to jump to, and then press the jump button. It was extremely finicky, and it almost never worked right. Here, you just simply press the right or left shoulder button, and there you go. One thing about this game that took me a while to get used to was the fact that the homing attack was no longer mapped to the jump button. Assuming that you're playing the Xbox version, you have to press the A button and then the X button to do a homing attack on a nearby enemy. That doesn't sound too bad, right? Truthfully, it's not. It's different, and it can take some time getting used to, but it's not terrible. What is terrible, however, is the fact that the mid-air boost button is also mapped to the X button. There were plenty of times where I wanted to do a homing attack to, give myself a little extra distance with my jump. But instead, I do a mid-air boost leading me to fall to my death. Son of a bitch! The Werehog's versatility depends on how much you level him up. He doesn't have any abilities outside of that. He's got some pretty dope combos that can really dish out. As for Sonic Unleashed, no, I cannot recommend it to you. It's better than Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06 without a doubt, but with the lackluster gameplay and the tedious medal collecting, I recommend that you guys skip this one. And that, folks, is my honest opinion. So what do you all think? Do you think this game is any good? Is it something that you could recommend a friend to? Leave it all in the comments section below. I want to wish you guys a happy holidays. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe for more content. Next review, we're heading into PS4 territory, so I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, you all have a great night. Take care. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. I post reviews here all the time, so you should also consider subscribing. I love feedback, guys, so definitely let me know things about the review that you liked and disliked so I can make videos in the future even better for you. I mean, if not, that's cool. I can just, go jump off a cliff or something. Anyway, I hope you guys really... good old PS4, we meet again. You know what's funny? I haven't reviewed a game for this system since June of 2015. The game that piqued my interest at that time was The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and honestly, I'm not sure if that counts as a PlayStation game considering that it was made by an indie developer. Since then, though, I haven't even touched my PlayStation 4. Now, mind you, a lot of that had to do with my deployment hiatus, but I also just couldn't help but to notice that it's been almost 2 years since I played a game for this system. So you know what? Let's whip this bad boy out and review one of the most critically acclaimed titles of 2016. Okay, here we go. It's only a little dusty, it's fine. Holy shit! You're here for a game review. Honest biggums will tell you the truth. Uncharted series. I've played all the games in the lineup from Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 3. Personally, I loved every single one of these games. The development team behind these beauties is Naughty Dog. Old school gamers like myself remember them as the team responsible for the old Crash Bandicoot trilogy. These games are amazing, and I cannot wait for the remaster that's coming out later. They look amazing with updated graphics, and it looks like they're even improving the control. For you late 90s gamers, you probably remember Naughty Dog for the Jak and Daxter games. I honestly didn't play either of these games, but that's also because I didn't own a PS2. I was strictly on the GameCube during that generation of consoles, and it wasn't until about a year before the release of the PS3 and Xbox 360 that I got my hands on my own PS2. But guess what? The only reason I got it was so I could play my old PS1 games I had laying around, that and so I could play Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. So yeah, I don't have the experience with the PS2 per se, but I won't argue that it had some pretty awesome titles, Sonic Heroes notwithstanding. Nowadays, Naughty Dog is known for 2 hit franchises, Uncharted and The Last of Us. These games are Naughty Dog's approach to a more serious storyline. If you were able to stomach your way through my old Last of Us review, which is no longer posted anymore, then you already know that I love that game. Honestly, it's my favorite game period, and I'm super pumped for its sequel. So that leaves Uncharted. I already was a trap causing the temple to collapse while the Drakes escape. In King's Day, the Drakes and Sully learned that Avery, Thomas Toe, and 10 other pirates had pooled their treasure together. Directed by clues to a tower in the city, Nate navigates its test to uncover a hidden map to Libertalia, a fabled pirate utopia founded by Avery and the other captains. The group returned to the hotel to find Elena waiting. Will you cut that out? Upset at Nate's deception and the appearance of his brother, whom Nate had never mentioned before, Elena leaves. Nate refuses to abandon the quest to follow her and sends Sully instead. The Drakes sail to the island on the map, navigating through elaborate pirate-built structures and overcoming shoreline forces to discover a hidden city of Libertalia. They find evidence of a civil war between the colonists and the founders, who stole the treasure for themselves and moved it across the island to New Devon, an extravagant town where the founders lived. On the way, they're cornered on a cliff by Rafe, who reveals that he was the one who set Sam free from jail, and the story about Alcazar was a complete lie. As Nate